Hi there. I'm going to read a story called The Dark Lady. This has happened in Hamilton, Ontario. The old custom house at 51 Stewart Street in the north end of Hamilton is a magnificent stone building that is considered a National Historic Site. Opened in 1860, it was designed to look like many official buildings and museums constructed in Italy in the 19th century. It was built to house government workers who kept track of goods moving in and out of the city's busy port on the Lake Ontario, and who collected duties or special taxes on many imported products. Customs officials moved out in 1887, and over the next 100 or so years, the building had many different owners and tenants. It became a temporary elementary school, a branch of the YWCA, a rooming house, a shelter for the homeless, several workplaces including factories that made vinegar, woolen yarn, and pasta, a martial arts academy, and a computer company. In the late 1980s, the Ontario government spent a lot of money to help the karate school renovate and restore the building. In 1995, the current owner, the Ontario Workers' Arts and Heritage Centre, bought it, using it to focus on the history and cultural contributions of Canadian working-class men and women. In 2001, the centre changed its name to the Workers' Arts and Heritage Centre. But while the owners and uses of the custom house changed many times over the course of its colorful history, one thing stayed the same: the claim that the stately stone building was haunted by a ghost known as the Lady in Black, or the Dark Lady. The Dark Lady is said to live in the basement of 51 Stewart Street, but she seems to move around a lot. There has been reported sightings of a beautiful woman appearing in a top floor window of the building. However, a much older woman, all dressed in black, has also appeared in the place. In one instance, decades ago, a worker named Mr. Handman saw just the shadowy shape of a woman gliding along a wall. Years later, during the restoration, one member of the construction crew saw the Black Lady clearly and got a sense that she was upset by the changes going on around her, especially plans to move the mantelpiece around one fireplace. Perhaps that's why she kept moving their tools after they went home for the day, and why she may have caused a major roof leak that flooded several rooms soon after the mantel was moved. Several workers also experienced a very strange, uncomfortable sensation and a blast of frigid air when they worked in the basement. At least two stories offer a possible explanation for the tragic figure's lingering presence in the custom house. One says that she's the ghost of an unidentified immigrant who died on a ship that arrived in Hamilton and whose body was buried in the basement. Legend has her roaming the place for all these years as she waits for her lover to join her in Canada. Another tale that circulated years ago was about a ship's captain who murdered his wife and buried her there after she found out that he had a girlfriend and demanded that he ended the affair. There seems to be no evidence backing up either possibility. However, evidence that the Dark Lady has been around for a very long time may be found in a ballad by Hamiltonian Alexander Wingfield that was published in 1873. Titled The Woman in Black, the poem begins with a specific reference to what the ghost wore. The ghost, long ago, used to dress in pure white. Now they're got on a different track, for the Hamilton ghost seems to take a delight to stroll around the city in black. Wingfield then goes on to tell how frightened a policeman was when he suddenly encountered the black-garbed spectre while walking the beat near the custom house one night. A peeler who met her turned blue with affright, and in terror he clung to a post. His hair, once a carroty red, has turned white since the moment he looked on the ghost. Wingfield ends the poem rather than dramatically a few verses later, telling of how the poor officer was found frozen with fear at 2 a.m., still clinging to the lamppost. But according to another earlier verse, the terror was understatable. The apparition he saw was much more horrifying than the one usually seen at the custom house. Her breath seemed as hot as a furnace. Besides, it smelt strongly of sulfur and gin. 2 horns, a yard long, stuck straight out of her head, and her hoofs made great clatter and din. That ghost sound absolutely demonic. Fortunately for those who have spotted the ghostly woman in black at 51 Stewart Street, since that poem was published, the spectre they've seen doesn't smell of sulfur and gin, and she doesn't have horns or hooves.